Our last speaker for this session will touch the aspect of defense, and we earlier mentioned how important is the defense as part of the entire campaign, and not just the offensive capabilities will define the ability to win such a conflict. So with that, the talk by the title of Israel Missile Defense Organization Programs will be given by Colonel retired Moshe Patel, Director and General Manager, Israel Missiles Defense Organization, IMDO, and it's my pleasure to invite a long-term colleague to the stage. Thank you, Moshe. My pleasure. Please.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be the last speaker. I know that you heard today about missile defense activities and all of that. I try to bring you a little bit of deep tech about what is going on. So everything started back in the 80s when President Reagan took the office and declared the Star War. At that time, almost nobody in the world was talking about missile defense or hitting a ballistic missile. But the great move at that time was how to hit a bullet with a bullet. Israel was the first nation in the world to join President Reagan initiative. First of all, because we receive a good budget for that and good support for our activities. And second, because we really believe that we need to develop this technology. It was way back in the late 80s, before the 91 war. And of course, after the Gulf War, everybody understood in Israel that we need to build a missile defense system. At that time, my organization was established, the Israeli Missile Defense Organization, by Dr. Uzi Rubin. And from that point, we start to develop the aero weapon system. At the beginning, it was Aero 1, and then we decided to move to Aero 2 and to deploy the full aero missile defense system. Around 2000, the aero weapon was declared operational, and since then, the aero system was operational, and we'll talk a lot about what was going on during the last year. 2007, Iron Dome development have been started together with David Sling weapon system and together with Aero 3. It was because of all what was going on with our northern border. In 2011, the Iron Dome was operational. In 2017, the David Sling and the Aero 3 become operational. This is our neighborhood. And the neighborhood has been very active during the last year, unfortunately, but at least it gave opportunity to all of our architecture to work and to protect the state of Israel. We have the attacks from Iran, and of course we'll talk about it. We have the attacks from the Hamas on October the 7th and continuing until now, actually. Of course, we are having the attacking for Yemen just recently, another two launching of ballistic missiles toward Israel that were intercepted by Arrow. Of course, we have the Hezbollah. We had attacks from Syria and attacks from Iraq from the Iranian proxies. So we are talking about 360 degrees of threats. If we take April 14 and October the 1st attacks, and we accumulate how many ballistic missiles have been launched towards Israel, so we're talking about more than 300 ballistic missiles from Iran, from a nation in the world that launched ballistic missiles with half a ton to a ton of warhead towards Israel. And our aero weapon system and all of our architecture actually support us to protect against these threats. In April 14, it was accompanied by cruise missiles, by UAVs. So all the atmosphere and the sky picture and air picture were very, very dense. Of course, we have the support of the coalition headed by the United States. And at least in April 14, most of the attacks have been intercepted. And October the 1st, we had a very minor damage, let's call it this way. So what is our multi-tier missile defense system? It consists on the lower level on Iron Dome. It is our medium to short range system, and the Iron Beam, which is our laser program that will be operational in a year from today. Above that, we have the David Sling weapon system, which is more medium to long-range kind of ballistic missile activity, air and missile defense that can counter cruise missiles, rocket, accurate threats. Above them, we have the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3. The Arrow 2 is more endo-exoatmospheric interceptor. The Arrow 3 is our exoatmospheric interceptor. Our multi-tier missile defense components, each of them have its own command and control, its own detectors, and its own effectors. But all of our systems are fully interoperable and sharing the information. We have full engagement coordination between our systems and full sky picture generation. So and a lower level can say to the upper echelon, I can intercept the threat. I'm okay with that. So we can save more sophisticated interceptors in case a lower level, a lower tier can intercept. I can tell you that all of our systems are fully interoperable, and from time to time, when US systems are being deployed in Israel, like what we are now having the deployment of the THAAD, the wonderful THAAD system by the US Army, so we are fully interoperable with them and sharing all the information that we can in order to counter those threats. So some words about each of the systems. Iron Dome, it's a combat-proven system. We have more than 10,000 of successful interception up to today. Very low cost and high efficiency capability. Capability to handle salvos, as you saw. We have also naval version, very mobile, very robust. In 7 of April 2011, it was the first operational interception of Iron Dome. And since then, as you see, the number 7,000, but until today, we are more than 10,000, as I mentioned. We have the CDOM version of the Iron Dome, which was also very, very successful and participated during Swords of Iron and intercept some of the threats that have been launched towards Israel. Above the Iron Dome, we have the David Sling. It is based on an air-to-air missile, the Python 5, that we add a booster, and we have very agile capability with very high interception capability and capability to handle salvos. We are very glad that the Finland government decided to buy the David Sling weapon system, and we are in the process of developing and deploying the system for the state of Finland. The first interception by David Sling was April 10th, 23rd, and on May 23, and during the Swords of Iron, the David Sling weapon system has multiple interceptions and support the defense of Israel, support the Iron Dome weapon system. Arrow 2, I mentioned that Arrow 2 is operational since 2000. It's our endo-exoatmospheric interceptor, have a lot of interceptions during the Swords of Iron. By the way, the Swords of Iron was the first time the Arrow 2 intercept operationally ballistic missile. And of course, we didn't anticipate that we are going to use those systems as much as we used them during the last year. But we are very happy that whatever we planned for those systems actually have been achieved. The Arrow 3 is our exoatmospheric interceptor. We developed it in order to make sure that in a very sophisticated threats, we are going to have at least shoot capability and to intercept threats up in space and have more capability to launch more interception. So this is the aim reason to start and develop the Aero 3. It has a very, very large footprint. Also here, we are very glad that the German government decided to buy the Aero 3 weapon system, and we are going to deploy them very, very soon. Their initial capability, and later on, their full capability that they need. We also starting the development of Aero 4. We are in a very advanced stages. The Aero 4 will replace Aero 2 in the future, and will be very important in our missile defense architecture. It will be also IMDO exo-atmospheric interceptor. I need to mention also our battle lab, the test lab. In this lab, we are conducting all of our exercises, all of our preparation, our building of concept of operation, and building the future architecture. This lab is very, very important to develop new capabilities and to develop the concept of operation. I need to emphasize, we wouldn't have all what we have with our air and missile defense capability without the huge support that we receive from US administration along the years. Since the late 80s until today, it's a major, major support. We are working together, we are managing together those programs. It is not that we're receiving from them the budget or the check by mail. It's working shoulder to shoulder and actually learning together the lessons from the combat and from the exercises on the flight tests, and making both of our nations be much better with our capabilities. So we are very, very proud to have a friend and an ally like the United States. Without them, we were not where we are. Let's run the movie that will summarize all what I said, but it's better to see it in a movie. So.
Israel Missile Defense Organization.
From its establishment until today, the State of Israel has been dealing with ongoing conflicts, facing a wide range of constant threats to its security. After the Gulf War in 1991, the Israeli Missile Defense Organization was established, aimed to develop the country's defense against ballistic threat attacks. Over the years, the missile defense systems have been developed, upgraded, and tested alongside combat operations. The defense systems have been adapted to the growing threats in the Middle East. Interoperability capabilities between the systems have been significantly improved. On October 7, 2023, thousands of Hamas terrorists breached the security barrier between the Gaza Strip and Israel and invaded the southern part of the country. They invaded towns, houses, and the Nova Music Festival held nearby. The terrorists broke into homes, looted and burned people alive, attacked civilians with acts of murder, rape, and assault on women, men, and children. During the attack, over 1,300 civilians were killed and more than 250 were kidnapped to Gaza. Simultaneously to the ground attack, Hamas launched over 3,000 rockets from the Gaza Strip towards southern and central Israel. During the Swords of Iron War, Israel had to contend with 6 main battlefronts: Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Iraq, and Yemen. From the Gaza Strip, over 13,000 rockets, artillery, and mortars were fired. From Lebanon, Hezbollah launched more than 5,000 short-range rockets, along with UAVs, artillery, and mortars. From Yemen, many ballistic missiles, UAVs, and cruise missiles were launched. On April 14th and on October 1st, 2024, Iran launched a massive attack of hundreds of long-range ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and UAVs. To address the complex and changing threats, unique multi-layered defense systems have been developed and evolved over the years. The Iron Dome defense system, the David Sling defense system, and the Arrow weapon system. These defense systems, operated by the Israeli Air Force and the Israeli Navy, are fully deployed throughout Israel and provide optimal protection for the Israeli home front with operational flexibility and immediate response. For the first time, all of the defense systems are operating simultaneously. Iron Dome. Iron Dome defense system was developed to counter attacks of short-range rockets, UAVs, and cruise missiles. The system demonstrated unprecedented capabilities against Hamas and Islamic Jihad attacks in the south, and against Iranian and Hezbollah attacks in the north. On the October 7th massacre, the Iron Dome successfully countered more than 3,000 various threats fired from Gaza Strip by Hamas. Since 2011 until now, the Iron Dome defense system has demonstrated its extensive capabilities, both in the south and the north, with over 7,000 successful interceptions, while providing critical protection and saving many lives. CDOM. System capabilities are being enhanced constantly, including naval Iron Dome Arajan on SAR 6 and SAR 5 multi-mission corvettes, in order to defend Israeli assets at sea. During Swords of Iron, it has successfully intercepted threats in both the Mediterranean and Red Seas, protecting the citizens and assets of the State of Israel. Iron Beam. Following many years of research and development, the Israeli Ministry of Defense has launched a full-scale development project for high-power energy laser interception system. The system will augment existing Israeli ballistic missile defense and enable robustness against emerging high-quantity threats. David Sling. David Sling weapon system is operational and provides the defense against large-caliber rockets and short-range missiles. It also possesses unique cruise missiles interception capabilities. In Swords of Iron War, the system demonstrated an incredible performance against all threats in complex scenarios. Arrow weapon system. The Arrow weapon system was the first system developed by Israel Missile Defense Organization, and it has been in operational use since the year 2000. The Arrow 3 exo-atmospheric interceptor was developed in response to the threat posed by advanced long-range ballistic missiles capable of carrying non-conventional warheads. Arrow 4 will be the next generation of IMDO exo-atmospheric interceptor in the Arrow weapon system. Its development is led by Israel Missile Defense Organization and the U.S. Missile Defense Agency. Both the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 interceptors performed in an outstanding way in the Swords of Iron War against long-range ballistic missiles. Arrow 2 interceptor made its first operational TBM interception. The Arrow 3 interceptor achieved the first operational interception in outer space. Iranian military actions against Israel directly from Iranian soil. The night between the 13th and 14th of April 2024, Iran initiated an attack against Israel, launching over 300 threats of various types. On October 1st, 2024, Iran attacked Israel again, with a massive attack including hundreds of long-range ballistic missiles. The largest ballistic missile attack in history. 10 million men, women, and children ran to bomb shelters to protect themselves. The Iranian threat met the aerial and technological superiority of the IDF. along with a strong fighting coalition which together intercepted the overwhelming majority of the threats. Most of the threats launched towards Israeli territory were intercepted, a very significant strategic achievement. Israel and the US BMD systems are interoperable and are being exercised on a routine basis in simulators and in the field, including the deployment of the US operational systems when required. The ITB Israeli testbed at Elbit is an effective and reliable battle simulator for missile defense practice. Many interoperability capabilities are practiced by joint teams at this facility. Israeli defense systems have attracted significant global interest for their solutions against various threats. The US Army purchased 2 Iron Dome batteries. In November 2023, the government of Finland signed a contract to purchase the David Sling weapon system. Additionally, in 2023, German and Israeli governments signed an agreement to deliver the Arrow 3 weapon system to Germany. The unique multi-tier air and missile defense array, built and established by Israel and the US, safeguards the state of Israel against a range of existing and evolving threats. Israel Missile Defense Organization, the protective wall of the State of Israel.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Moshe. Thank you. We couldn't be prouder as Israeli citizens to hear this brief about such technologies and what makes us better protected. 180 ballistic missiles a night can be game over to a country in this size, and these systems protect us, so thank you so much. This also concludes our afternoon session. We had a quick tour over many of the relevant technologies at the defense tech. We started with the background. We touched the digital part, the deterrence, the cyber, the AI, the human resilience, and of course other offensive capabilities and the defense arm. So with that, we send you to think about those incredible talks that were here. We want to thank the speakers. We want to thank you for spending the afternoon with us, and to wish you to enjoy this Defense Tech Summit, and let's hope that all these demonstrations will not be in practical days, and peace will come to this region and to the world. Thank you very much.